Devotion to Mary under the title of Our Lady of the Snows is one of the oldest devotions to Mary. Improbable as it is for snow to fall during August, history tells of a snowfall that seemed even more impossible for having occurred in Rome, Italy. So it was that on August 5th, 352 AD, snow fell during the night in Rome. But why? There lived in the Eternal City a devout nobleman, John, and his childless wife, who had been blessed with much of this world's goods. Being bereft of offspring to whom they could leave their inheritance, they chose the Mother of God as the heiress to their fortune. Aware of their offering, Mary appeared in a dream to them, telling them that she wanted a church built in her honor, and that the exact site for this church would be found covered with snow. The next morning the husband approached his friend, then Pope Liberius, and was amazed to learn that the Virgin Mary had also appeared to the Vicar of Christ, advising him that a miraculous snowfall would occur that would outline where the church was to be built in her honor. Snow rarely falls in Rome, but the flakes fell silently during that night, blanketing the peak of the historic Esquiline Hill. In the morning the news quickly spread, and crowds gathered to throng up the hill and behold the white miracle. The snow had fallen in a particular pattern, showing the exact outline of the future church. The people rushed to stake off the outline before the snow melted. When it became known that the snow was a sign from Mary Most Holy, the people spontaneously added another to her long list of titles, Our Lady of the Snows. A church to honor Mary was built on the hill in 358 AD. Restored and refurbished many times, this church, now the magnificent Basilica of St. Mary Major, still stands today as the seat of devotion to Our Lady of the Snows in the Catholic Church. Just as Our Lady once contained the Christ child and Redeemer of mankind in her virginal womb, St. Mary Major contains some of the finest artwork and architectural wonders in the world. The ceiling is a masterpiece of the Renaissance, gilded with the first gold brought to Spain from the New World by Christopher Columbus as a present to Pope Alexander VI from Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain. The basilica is also home to a few remnants of the humble crib in which Christ was laid at his birth. These pieces of the manger were carried to Rome by Christians fleeing the Muslim conquest of the Holy Land in the 7th century. To this day, they are preserved in a silver reliquary resembling an ordinary manger upon which lies an image of the infant Jesus. The Holy Crib is the object of particular devotion and veneration during the liturgical ceremonies of Christmas Eve and Midnight Mass. On Christmas morning, there is a procession in honor of the Holy Crib of the infant Jesus, which culminates in the exposition of the sacred relic on the high altar. In honor of Our Lady of the Snows, every year on August 5th, a Mass takes place in the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome, and white flower petals are dropped from the ceiling. In the evening, the snowfall is recreated in the piazza outside the church. Tens of thousands gather to honor Our Lady of the Snows with a devotion that has never cooled among her people. Maybe it is the childlike joy that swells in every human heart, regardless of age, at the first snow of the season, coupled with the miraculous way in which Our Lady used snow in the heat of August to indicate her desires for the first church built in her honor. Whatever the reason, devotion to Our Lady of the Snows has outlasted famines, wars, persecutions, plagues, and even the impious declaration of the 1960s that God is dead. For over 1,600 years, pilgrims have continued to flock to Rome, and on August 5th, one can be sure they are headed not for the Vatican or the catacombs, but for the Basilica of St. Mary Major.